Hello again, everybody. Jeff Reinhart here, LMP and Lancaster Online. Welcome into the Week 5 edition of the Huddle podcast, talking LL League football, brought to you by Auto House of Lancaster. Halfway home, gang. 4 weeks down. We're at Week 5, and after this weekend's games, the regular season will be midway, halfway in the books. I actually looked at the district rankings this week. So, yeah, we're getting into the meat of the schedule, and it's getting good. Okay, wrap Week 4, and then we'll go Week 5. 19 games this week. The fewest games in any week so far this season. 19. It's very manageable. Thank you, Mr. LL Schedule Maker. Okay, wrapping up Week 4. A normal week. It was nice. No rain, no thunder, no lightning, no postponements, no suspensions. It went off without a hitch. My highlights from Week 4. Here we go. Manheim Township. Oh, boy, take a bow. We circled that Springford game last week. Rams came in 3-0, averaging 50 points a game, smoking. Was really curious to see how Township would do coming off the win over Harrisburg, and Township was fantastic. Put up 63 points. Hello. Hayden Johnson, 6 touchdown passes, 5 to Landon Kennel, 5 TD grabs for Mr. Kennel, tied the program single game record for touchdown catches in a game. Wow. Township 4-0 and sailing to get their section opener this week. Keep listening. Penn Manor, exhale, Millersville. Comets don't win. They fell to Cedar Crest, which went to 4-0, but it took 3.5 games. But the Comets finally score 13 points. Colin Robinson, third different quarterback taking snaps for Penn Manor here in the first 4 weeks. Touchdown run, touchdown pass. Comets score. That's a good thing. So they'll get some positive mo coming out of the non-league portion. They get their section opener against Reading this week with some crooked numbers in the scoring column. Finally. Good job, effort for scoring some points. That's a good at Penn Manor for scoring some points. That's a good thing. Number 3, Jake Williams is just continues to dominate for Elko. Another whopper game for him. Rushed for 229 and 2 touchdowns. Elko escapes Conrad Weiser 28-21. They get a late TD to win that one. These are like Tecmo Bowl numbers, Madden numbers. Through 4 weeks, Jake Williams, 1,141 rushing yards, 16 touchdown runs. He's been a monster. Already over 1,000 rushing. That's really good. Next up, 2 quarterbacks had fabulous dual threat games. We'll start with Jackson Landis at Hempfield. Passed for 150, rushed for 110. A 100-100 night for Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson Landis, sorry. Hempfield wins. They beat McCaskey. Much needed win for Hempfield. They had lost a couple in a row. They win their section opener. Kai Harding, 1,000 kid last year. Really on pace to do it again now. Harding last week against Daniel Boone. Passed for 246, rushed for 217, accounted for 5 touchdowns. Rushed for 200, passed for 200. You don't see that very often. What a game for Mr. Harding. Guard spot goes to 4-0. Lastly, coming out of Week 4, 2 milestones that we could see this week. Hayden Johnson, as mentioned, Manheim Township. He needs 278 passing yards, which is right about in his range, for 6,000 in his career. 6,000, that's pretty good. I think only 9 quarterbacks in league history have hit that number, so he's going to crash that party. And Bryson Armold at Manheim Central needs 148 rushing yards, which is in his wheelhouse, for 3,000 career rushing yards for him. So those are 2 milestones to look out for in Week 5. Okay, the Week 5 card loaded up and ready to go. Here we go. 19 games, 18 on Friday, 1 Saturday matinee. Quick hitter and picks. Here we go. Wilson at Cedar Crest. Falcons are 4-0 and feeling great. Wilson's won 2 in a row. Their passing game's been wow. Tommy Hunsicker up top the last couple of weeks has been dynamite. Wilson's getting healthy, and they've dominated this series. They've won 17 in a row. Love what the Falcons are doing, but I'm going to go Bulldogs. Wilson over Cedar Crest. Manheim Township at Hempfield. It's the Kurjaika Trophy game, the 10th edition of that. Township won the first 7. Hempfield's won the last 2, but Township got revenge last year, beat the Knights big in the district playoffs. So Hempfield's won the last 2 in the regular season. Township got the revenge game in district, so both teams here have payback on their mind. Township wants the trophy. Hempfield wants to retain the trophy and get some payback for that district game last year. Cannot go against the Streaks. They are just a handful. They are just scorching. So I'll go Streaks over Knights in the incredible backyard rivalry game, one of the best going in the LL for years and years and years. Streaks over Knights. McCaskey has a non-leaguer this week. Red Tornado go to the Philly Burbs. They will play Plymouth Whitemarsh. The Colonials are 2-1, started 2-0, got shut out last week by Quakertown, but a good rushing attack. And P-Dub won this game last year 46-0 in Lancaster. So I'll ride them again this year. Colonials over Red Tornado. And I wrote this, and I believe it. McCaskey's better than their 1-3 record. Much better than their 1-3 record. But I'll go P-Dub here. Penn Manor at Reading. As mentioned, the Comets scored. Exhale. Still 0-4, I know. They got to go over to Shirk Stadium and play the Red Knights here. They lost to Wilson last week, but they've had some big plays. They had like a 98-yard touchdown run, an 80-yard touchdown catch. So they're tricky and have athletes. So I'll go Red Knights over Comets. Another non-league game. 2 old Section 2 pals will clash in Whitmer. Solanco at Conestoga Valley. Buckskins flying a tad under the radar here. 3-1, beat Warwick last week, and their only loss was by a point to Garden Spot. Don't forget, back in week 2. But CV's been really, really good here. Jaden Johnson, 200-yard rushing game last week. Solanco, young-ish, but doing some things. I think Solanco is going to be heard from big in 2024. As for 2023, I'll go Buckskins here at home. They've been really good. They're doing stuff, and they're running the ball, and they're 3-1 sneakily. Here they are. Bucks over Mules. Lebanon at Exeter. Lebanon's L streak is at 26. They lost to Muhlenberg last week. Close, 13-7. Maybe some positive mo coming out of that game for the Cedars, but they got to go to Exeter, and the Eagles are, wow. Their defense has been great. They have 11 takeaways. 11. They forced 11 turnovers in 4 weeks. That's really good. They're undefeated. They're going for their 17th regular season win in a row. Got to go Exeter here. Eagles over Cedars. Muhlenberg at Governor Mifflin. As mentioned, Muhlenberg gets a dub last week. They're in the win column. They held off Lebanon 13-7. I know Mifflin lost to Exeter last week, but the Mustangs' running game has been good. They've put up some numbers, and they're hanging in there in the trenches. I like them at home here. Mustangs over Mules. Warwick at Manheim Central. Great Section 2 rivalry, backyard game. Never any love lost here. These two have had some great games here over the last 5-6 years, kind of beating each other up. Barons kind of got back on track last week, beat Susquehannock Thursday night over there in Glen Rock. I got to cover that. And their offense is just fine. As mentioned, Armold will go for 3,000 career rushing in this game. And Zach Hahn, tip of the cap, he went over 3,000 passing yards last week. Warwick looking for something here. They had that great week 1 win against Cocalico, opened a ton of eyes, came back, beat the Eagles. But they've kind of taking some steps back here. Lost 3 in a row. Looking for some good vibes. Tricky trip over to Eldon Ratu. Got to go Barons here. Central over Warwick. Daniel Boone at Ephrata. We were at Ephrata this week for the video show. Make sure you tune in to watch that. Ephrata 4-0 for the first time since 1995. And that was also the last time they were 5-0. So it's been, 28 years, almost 30 years since Ephrata has been 5-0. They'll go for that here against Daniel Boone, and I think they get it. Put 55 up on Solanco last week. And this might be the stat of the week, and we love what Johnson and Kennel did for Township. Jeremiah Knowles, safety, Ephrata, and I had a message to the coach and ask if this was right. Knowles had 28 28 tackles last week against Solanco. 28, 18 solos. And I actually got a chance to talk to him at practice last week, and he said, well, Solanco ran the ball like 60 times, so I was able to cheat up a little bit and kind of help stuff the run, and he did. So 28 tackles. That's crazy. Effort over Daniel Boone. Twin Valley at E-Town section opener for the Bears. Boy, they're looking for anything here. They've been shut out 3 times, and they're near the bottom of the league in total defense. And they've just they're stuck in second gear here. They just can't punch it and get anything going. And now they get a TV team that just is, cruise control. Lead the league in rushing, 1,500 rushing yards. Johnson and Engel are both at 600 plus on the ground, both averaging more than 11 yards a carry on the ground. Raiders lead the league in total offense, 530 yards a game. They've been unreal. Got to ride the Raiders here another week. They've been really good. TV over E-Town. Garden Spot at Fleetwood. 4-0 start for Spot. Mentioned Kai Harding, 200 last week. Matt Zamperini, Spartans coach. Good guy. Good egg. If Spotty can win here, that would be 75 career wins for Mr. Zamperini. That's a cool number. Fleetwood, Zion Brickle's been awesome running the ball, but they've lost 2 straight. So I worry about their Mo a little bit, and Garden Spot's kind of a different animal. I'll go Spartans over Tigers. Berks Catholic at Donegal. Both teams are on 2-game losing streaks. I got to see Donegal last week. They punched LS in the mouth. They got a flea flicker 72-yard touchdown pass very early in the game, and then didn't do anything the rest of the night. Had 89 yards and 2 first downs against LS. Which is just flashing an incredible defense right now, and that showed last week against Donegal. I have Berks Catholic circled here. Got a good win early in the season against Executive Education out of Allentown. Hung with YO a little bit last week. It was 35-7. It wasn't 63-7. But I'm gonna ride the Saints this week. I think they go to Mount Joy and find a way to win. Berks Catholic over Donegal. Game of the week. Ding, ding, ding. LS at Cocalico. I could talk all 20 minutes on this game alone. LS 4-0, number 1 defense in the LL. They're giving up 106, 105 yards a game. Wow. They've only given up 13 points. Just a slew of unbelievable defensive statistics for LS. They get a Cocalico team. Lost in week 1 to Warwick, and they have just come back flying. 3 wins in a row. Put up 48 on Manheim Central. Put up 48, 49 last week on Octorara. Their rushing attack has been unbelievable. Meyer, the quarterback, is making all the right reads. Steffi's been good, over 100 yards the last couple of weeks. Longenecker's been good, busting long plays, scoring touchdowns. Fabulous, fabulous game. I will see you in Denver on Friday. I have the Eagles circled, but who knows? This is a coin toss game, but I'll go Cocalico over LS in the week 5 game of the week. Octorara at Conrad Weiser. Weiser took Elko to the wire last week, still looking for their first win. Elko scores late and wins. Donovan Gingrich had a good game up top, 3 touchdown passes. Octorara picked a bad week to get Cocalico last week. Did get a couple late touchdowns to get a little mo, but I'm going to go Weiser here. They're 0-4, but played better last week. I think they defend home turf in Robizonia. Scouts over Braves. Anvil Cleona at Columbia. Anvil, and I wrote this twice this week. I don't know if they saved their season last week. That's probably a little dramatic for week 4, but a huge win for the Dutchmen. They beat Hamburg, which was undefeated and sailing. Anvil Cleona played hog the ball, milked the clock, kept Hamburg's offense off the field in chunks, and won 28-7. Huge win for Anvil if they're thinking section title, if they're thinking districts later on down the road in a month, but a huge win for them. Columbia still looking for it. Ran into a really hot Lancaster Catholic team last week, gave up 42 points, scored some TDs, did some things. Columbia has so many athletes, but they just can't seem to jive and get on the same page, and they're hitting a really rough spot here in the schedule. Catholic and Anvil back to back. I don't wish that on anybody. I have the Dutchmen circled. I think last week's really going to kickstart them into something pretty big here in the next couple weeks. Anvil over Columbia. Hamburg at Kutztown. Kutztown still running the heck out of the ball. They have some cool numbers. They've done some good things. But just the one win, they're going to get a fired up, mad Hamburg team that just didn't get enough shots at Anvil last week. So, Hamburg can't wait to get on the field, get the ball back up in the air. Tyler Shuey has 1,200 passing yards, leads the LL League, and Hamburg's looking for a bounce back here after an L last week. So I'll go Hawks over Cougars. Lancaster Catholic at Northern Lebanon. Hey, this game got a little juicy. Both 1-0, both sit atop the section. Northern Lebanon won 2 games in a row. Moises Gonzalez, huge game last week, 2 TD runs, and he returned a block punt for a touchdown. Good little clip here for Northern Lebanon. They're playing well. So's Catholic. Oh, my. Elijah Cunningham rushed for 220 last week, 3 touchdowns. He's almost 700 rushing yards, maybe, just a tick under. Catholic's offense has been really good. And they're there. Here they are again, going for 14 regular season wins in a row, and I think they get it. In Fredericksburg, I'll go Catholic over Northern Lebanon. Last Friday night game, Schuylkill Valley will host Pequay Valley. Got to see PV win that cool game over at Hanover, that suspended game. I thought they'd carry that Mo into last week. Couldn't stop Northern Lebanon. Now they get a Schuylkill Valley team that's just, wow, they found it. 3 in a row. Logan Narwaki, huge game throwing the ball last week. 5 touchdowns through the air. Career win number 150 for skipper Bruce Harbaugh. Congrats to him for that. Injury, our good friend Mike Drago reported this week that Dominic Trefray, the Panthers' really good running back, left last week's game with a hand injury. So we'll monitor that and see if he gets back in there. Panthers are flying here, and I think they win. Schuylkill Valley over Pequay Valley. The Saturday matinee, 1:30 at Wyomissing. Spartans welcome Elko. Mentioned Jake Williams' rushing numbers, 1141 and 16 touchdown runs. Wow. But YO, as you know, is kind of a different animal. Their defense is really good. I saw Riker Jones is back, the Princeton commit, back off that knee injury, missed the first couple weeks. He's back, had a huge game last week against Berks Catholic at 11 tackles. He was all over the place. And YO is YO. And I love what Elko's doing. Love that they're 4-0. Impressed by the O-line and Jake Williams' numbers. But the pick is the Spartans. They're going for their 39th regular season win in a row, and I think they get it. YO over Elko. Week 5 winners, Wilson, Manheim Township, Plymouth Whitemarsh, Reading, Conestoga Valley, Exeter, Mifflin, Manheim Central, Ephrata, Twin Valley, Sparty Nation, Berks Catholic, Cocalico, Weiser, Anvil Cleona, Hamburg, Catholic, Schuylkill Valley, and Wyomissing. Week 5. Okay, Friday night, I will see you in Denver for LS Cocalico. Can't wait. That's just a monster game. And some intriguing games on the week 6 slate, but let's not go there yet. Let's enjoy week 5. Halfway home. One last thing. I wrote this for this week. If the district playoffs start tomorrow, and I know they don't, 20 LL teams would be in. 20 would be it. That's all going to change, and a lot of these teams all going to play each other head-to-head down the stretch, so those numbers are going to change in the power ratings, but still, 20 teams right now are in line for District 3 playoff invitations. That's pretty cool. We will track that moving forward. Okay, thanks again. Thanks again to Auto House of Lancaster for jumping on board this fall. Much obliged. Enjoy the Week 5 games, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.